Good luck keeping dry eyes when watching Safety. This is a beautiful film. It is emotional. Even if it wasn't based on a true story, it would be a really emotional experience, but it is based on truth, which just makes it all the more moving. This was released in 2020. It's directed by Reginald Hudlin, written by Santora, and we have a cast including J. Reeves, Thaddeus, J. Mixson, and various others. And this is about an individual called Ray McElrathbey, and he was a football player. And the film focuses on his time at college and the fact that his younger brother is in a difficult living situation. His mother is not really able to take care of him properly, so he's about to go into the foster system. But McElrathbey decides that instead he's going to try and keep him in his dorm room with him at school. And obviously that's not going to be easy. And how is he going to be able to look after his brother, work on his education, work on his career? Obviously he has dreams of becoming a successful football player. Obviously at the time he's still at college. And I don't want to say too much about what happens. Obviously it's based on a true story, but I went into it with no knowledge of this. I'd never heard of this. I'm not into football of any kind. And I didn't know exactly what would happen or where the story would go. And I feel like, for me at least, that worked really well. Obviously, if you're aware of the true events, it's still going to be a brilliant experience. But not knowing what was going to happen did make it quite suspenseful. I think it was very easy to build up an emotional connection with the characters, to want the best for them, to hope that they all had favourable outcomes. And again, I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, and that made it such an emotional journey. And as I said at the beginning, dry eyes were not a thing by the end of the film for multiple reasons. There are highs, there are lows, there are obstacles they overcome, and that's brilliant to see. But then, of course, there are a lot of challenges, and there's a lot of substance to the narrative. I don't know, of course, how accurate it is to the true story, to the true events, or to the true individuals. If anybody has any thoughts on that, please feel free to share. But from my perspective, I found it to be an entertaining, very moving, inspirational story that I'm getting emotional thinking about it. It was so effective. Definitely a really powerful film, and I thoroughly recommend it. It's also really gorgeous visually. For a good chunk of the film, the characters are wearing purple and orange of the uniforms, and the colours are just so stunning. It's so beautiful to look at. So on top of a great narrative, a very emotional story, great, very likeable characters, wonderful performances, we also have a visual beauty. So I think it ticks every box. And I will say, you don't need to care about football in the slightest to enjoy this. Obviously that's part of the film and it's a big part of McElrathbey's life, but you don't need to care about football at all. And you'll still feel the passion and the emotion of the story. So I think this is one that it could appeal to pretty much everybody. And I'm happy to recommend it to pretty much everybody. Safety is a very, very powerful film. And if it sounds like it's for you, or if you just want to give it a go, I really thoroughly recommend it.